What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mahatma Gandhi, back with some more choices that matter, and the sun went out. And in the last episode, Sharon got me caught lying to Dolores. And she laughed at me. She laughed at me. Sharon, I'm trying to get her on my side, Sharon, and you didn't help. But she found Jonathan within like 24 hours. I still don't know how the hell she did that. So we chose to allow Jonathan to go back with Dolores after he told us that the 100th day has gone crazy and he didn't want that to happen. And he kidnapped Chrissy to save her? Don't understand that logic, but anyways, let's get right back into it. So that's settled, she said decisively, and put down her mug firmly. I'm going to see Chrissy. Didn't we just say in the last episode, don't go because Victor Santiago? Didn't we just say that? Be careful, I warned, and she smiled sweetly at me. Of course, she said, you're the boss. Oh, I am boss. I sighed. I really didn't think that was the case. I laid down into the living room to make sure our captive was still there. The fight seemed to have gone out of him. He was slumped again and didn't look up when I appeared. Teacher, what shall I tell Miss Montague? I went back to the kitchen and pulled a beer out of the fridge, cracking it open. I went and sat at the table, Sharon's computer in front of me. Don't tell her anything yet, Modi. I need time. How much time, teacher? I need 30 hours to figure this out. Okay, teacher. In the meantime, Miss Montague has a message for you. Dang, she must really like me, 'cause she sent me all these messages. I resisted the urge to sigh. What's the message? I have identified Victor Santiago. Damn. His travel itinerary matches up with many of the murdered scientists, including your professor. You motherfucker, I'm gonna beat your ass. Your ass is grass and I'm the lawnmower. Victor Santiago was last seen boarding a plane to Tokyo. Motherfucker, I'm going to Tokyo. I'm going to Tokyo. I'm gonna kill you. I felt my heart plummet in shock. Etienne was at Tokyo. He's gonna know. No, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. No, don't you. I called him at once. Hello? Hello? He answered, sounding in need of a friendly ear. Is everything alright in Australia? I quickly told him about Victor Santiago. Every time I brought up the subject of his father's murder, the tone in the park warden's voice darkened a little more. Noted, he replied tersely, clearly down in spirit. Was that the only reason you called? Victor's boss is terrified of him. Please be careful. There was a moment of silence before Etienne replied, I will. Feeling just a little better, I sighed. Okay, thanks. I'll let you get back to what you were doing. Hang on. Etienne stopped me, chuckling a little bit. You haven't told me if everything's alright in Australia. Did you manage to rescue the daughter? Oh, yes and no. Chrissy rescued herself, actually. I told him how we had found her and how the leader of the 100th Day cult was now in the living room. I told him I was worried that Sharon was consumed by revenge, and Etienne's response was that he understood how she felt. It was at that moment it suddenly occurred to me. Sharon and Etienne weren't just persons of interest in my job anymore. They were friends. They were my friends. Yes. Arc 5 complete. Damn, I was that close. Man, I could have kept this going. Okay. You and 12% of players are now holding Jonathan's fate in your hands. I don't want to kill the guy, but Sharon might want him dead. So if we gotta kill him, I'm making Sharon do it. Begin art 6-1. I need to tinkle. Don't make me hold you penis while you pee, okay? Don't. I looked up at Jonathan over the computer as I drained my third cup of coffee. He winced, obviously uncomfortable. Sharon had arrived back an hour ago and headed back to bed as soon as she walked through the door, reporting no change with Chris. Oh no, I'm left alone with a man that's gotta pee. I'm not gonna untie you, and I'm gonna have to ask Sharon if she got some gloves. For my part, I hadn't discovered anything that would lead Sharon and I to justice or anything of the like. I wasn't sure what I was trying to achieve if I was honest with myself. Teacher, is it possible that Mr. Jonathan indeed needs to relieve himself?
We're gonna find out.
It has been several hours. Yeah, seeing as denying him could be seen as torture, perhaps you should let him. You dislike torture. I chuckled to myself. Modi was ever the logical one. What evidence can you give me that you won't try and get away? He groaned, twisting again. Keep me tied up, I don't care. I just need to go. I'll assist you to the bathroom, okay? I'm not giving you the chance to escape, okay? I'll assist you to the bathroom. I sighed and stood, walking over to him. Kneeling behind his back, I untied his wrists before retying them in front. I motioned towards the bathroom. Run and regret it, I warned as he hobbled away. Yeah, he muttered, kicking the door closed behind him. I stood outside the door. Anyway, though why, I wasn't sure. There wasn't really anywhere he could go on the third floor with only a tiny window in the bathroom. Maybe I was paranoid. Teacher, if Mr. Jonathan isn't telling the 100th day what to do, then who is? I assume that this Victor Santiago. Well, yeah, I answered, frustrated that I had not been able to glean anything about the hitman from my internet search. Taking out my phone, I messaged Dolores asking her to do a trace and see if she could find anything. If she had one perfect skill, it was digital information gathering. I also mentioned that she could arrange a pickup from a package when she was able, though he wasn't to be harmed, as I might need him again. Perhaps Mr. Jonathan isn't dangerous then, teacher. I have been doing research on something called Patsy. It is possible that he's one of these creatures. I chuckled. Patsy isn't a creature, Modi. It's a label, and you may be right. The door at the end of the hallway opened and Sharon stumbled out, hair once again a bird's nest. I grinned at the sight of her and she stuck her tongue out at me. Where's our prisoner? She asked. I nodded towards the bathroom and she snorted, coming over to stand with me. You handing him over to your last then? Soon, I nodded, reaching out to smooth a strand of hair away from Sharon's face and behind her ear. She blushed a violent red and I quickly dropped my hand. Oh no. No, Dolores! Dolores is mine. You aren't. Yet. If coffee, she grunted, walking away. Teacher, I am unfamiliar with these emotions on Miss Sharon's face. It's called blushing. Mind your business. It's called embarrassment. That's all I'll say. Yeah. It's called embarrassment. Yes, teacher. I will do my own research. The door to the bathroom opened and Jonathan stopped short when he saw me standing guard. I wasn't going to run, he said, petulant. I grinned. Of course not, I said dryly. His shoulders slumped and I dragged him towards the living room again, ignoring the sound of the kettle in the kitchen where Sharon was. Dropping Jonathan back in the chair, I told him what my plan was, to send him back to Dolores. He listened with bated breath, eyes wide as I explained. You can't be serious, he groaned, hanging his head. I hate being a deity. You got yourself into his mess, I said, refusing to feel sympathy for him. If it's any consolation, I've informed my friend that you are not to be harmed. Great, he said, all the fight gone from him. That's just super. Thanks, friend. After that, it was a simple matter of waiting. Soon the buzzer in Sharon's apartment sounded and I took Jonathan downstairs, this time knowing better than to approach the two kidnappers by the black sedan. The brute of a man took hold of Jonathan and pushed him roughly into the car as they drove away. I turned around and re-entered the apartment. Didn't I tell you not to harm him and you just go shove him into the car? Sharon joined me in the living room after I shut the door behind me. Pity, he said. I was starting to like him.
What? You was starting to like this dude?
Didn't you hate him yesterday? You're a very strange woman, and I think I like it.
Yes.
She grinned, her cheeks blushing rose again. Thanks, she said. You're a bit of okay yourself. And it was my turn to blush. So what do we do now? I frowned, looking down at my research again. I hadn't uncovered much. What do you want, Sharon? She looked stunned that I had asked her. She considered the question carefully. I want my daughter to be safe, she said eventually. I want the bastards who threaten her to pay, and I want to know why our solar system is circling the drain. I smiled. It was a good list. Let's start with that first one, Modi. Yes, teacher. I want you to do a search for anything to do with the 100th day, particularly anything with names or pictures, put together a database. Of course, teacher. Then what, Sharon asked. Give these lists to Chrissy and tell her to avoid these people? I need tech experts, someone who can access restricted networks. I need someone in the police force, someone who can manufacture evidence. Yes! I need evidence. Sharon pursed her lips. I might know someone like that, she said, tapping her finger against her leg. Someone who would have a reason to help us too. Another one of Chrissy's boyfriends? I asked dryly, amused that her daughter seemed to rack up so many of them. Sharon laughed. Close. One of my son of a bitch! I blinked in shock, like mother, like daughter. She gave me an annoying grin and stood. I'll be right back. I'll give my turncoat a tingle and see how generous they feel. In the meantime, she leaned over me to write a number down on my notepad. That's the number of an old buddy who runs a private driver service. Get him to meet us downstairs. You don't want to drive? I asked, surprised. More. I don't want to park, she snorted. Eugene will do it as a favor to me, and parking in the city is a real hoot, I tell you. With that, she walked away, closing the door to her bedroom. Shrugging, I picked up my own phone and started dialing the numbers she'd given me. Miss Teacher, Sharon has a great many friends. Why don't you have as many?
Modi, that's fucked up. Modi. 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 You don't remember Enrique?
I frowned at my wrist. Did Modi just call me a loser?
He did. He did. You just called me a loser, you piece of...
Different personalities, Modi. Different lifestyles.
Personality.
I see, teacher. The little device was silent for a moment before piping up again just as I was about to start my call. Teacher, I do not have a personality, do I? I frowned, setting down my phone. It was a valid question, and yet I wasn't quite sure how to answer it. You have programming, Modi, which is similar. You are gaining more friends, teacher. Does that mean your personality is changing? Could my programming change too? I bit my lip. Modi was always curious, but never like this. Gaining friends is a matter of human nature. Programming doesn't change. It might evolve with updates to your software. So if I have more software updates, I could have more friends. Oh, no. He's going to start hyper-updating. Why? Do you need friends, Modi? You have me. Of course, teacher. But that is not enough. I just thought it might be nice. I shook my head. I didn't know how to respond to that. Miss Montague has sent you a file on Victor Santiago, teacher. Already? That was quick. Thank her for me, Modi. Yes. I will, teacher. Setting the file aside for later, I finally called Sharon's driver friend. The strangely accented man on the other end of the line informed me that he would arrive soon. I took my chance to have a quick shower, washing off the sleepless nights and constant research. It was invigorating. By the time I was dressed again, I was ready to take on the world with Sharon by my side. Hey, Sharon greeted me, coming around the corner with her phone still pressed to her ear. If you're ready, Eugene just got here. I'll be down in a sec. I nodded and picked up my bag, making my way down to yet another nondescriptive black sedan waiting for me. Uh-oh! I opened the passenger door and slid in, tossing my bag over into the back. Hello, friend of Sharon. The gentleman driving the car was short in stature but tall in character. I could see that as soon as I laid eyes on him. The beautiful woman called just the other day and said she may be needing my assistant. You're the one looking at why the sun is popping in and out from life, no? I ground my teeth together. So much for Sharon being discreet. Sharon! Stop! Stop it! That's me! Well, I've got your solution right here, my friend. I know why the sun is dancing. Oh my god, he's gonna give something stupid. He's gonna be like, because you're not with me. Yeah. I stared at him confused. What was it with Australian taxi drivers? You do? Yes, it is the vampires. Yes, Sharon would be down in just a moment. What the hell you mean vampires? Damn vampires! Yes, my friend, vampires. Teacher, vampires do not exist. I am concerned about this man's well-being. Modi. Modi. I had to agree with Modi. What other animal needs to be in darkness to survive? Yes, there are nocturnal animals, but none that die in sunlight. So I say to myself, Eugene, vampires are causing this, you see? I chose not to argue with the driver. He looked at me questioningly, waiting for a destination. Eugene, you have a strange accent. Where are you from? I asked, delaying for a moment more. From television, he answered enthusiastically. You can learn anything from that box tube. You are right, teacher. His accent is indeed very strange. I am unable to determine its origin. Sharon jumped into the back of the car and greeted Eugene happily, giving him directions on where we were going. Eugene peeled off into traffic quickly, humming happily to himself, occasionally chattering away to seemingly anyone. I raised an eyebrow at Sharon in the back, but she just smiled as Eugene continued. Jeez. Eugene. Teacher, this man is strange. Modi. Please, do not be talking aloud. Should we inform someone? Don't be insensitive, Modi. Some people are just different. Who? He doesn't have a teacher to look out for him like you, Modi. Don't be insensitive, Modi, alright? Soon we were stuck in peak hour traffic and Sharon was chatting away with Eugene, who obviously was an old and cherished friend of hers. I took the time to have a look at digital files on Victor Santiago that Dolores had sent me. Oh my god. The file said what I already knew. The fact that he was a hitman, his travel dates matched various murders around the world, including Professor Soul, and that he was heading to Tokyo at this time. I kept that last fact to myself. For now, Sharon didn't need to rush off to another country just yet. She could be rash sometimes. His background was just as you'd expect from a professional hitman. Troubled childhood, trained by the military, dishonorably discharged after one tour in Afghanistan. Sometimes after that, and after discovering Jonathan's cult, Victor surgically changed the color of his eyes. I still don't. Why would you change them gold? Like, I think you'd make them like a normal color, like, you know, like just make them maybe green, blue, brown, like whatever you want. My question is, why this cult? I said aloud, suddenly interrupting the conversation between Eugene and Sharon. They stared at me in confusion. Santiago is obviously a bit deranged, I clarified, embarrassed at my sudden outburst. But why has the 100th day become his life? What sent him into such a tiz that he surgically changed the color of his eyes? I mean, that must hurt. Sharon shrugged, a nonplussed as ever. We can ask him when we beat him black and blue, she said in a bland tone. We were being followed persistently, Eugene exclaimed with some admiration. Confused, I wondered what he had meant. I lose the sucker, yes? Eugene continued. Maybe vampire. Seatbelts on now, friends. Okay, we're being chased. This is great. Oh, this is great. Sharon quickly complied and craned my neck around to see who he was talking about. Several car lengths behind, a woman on a black motorcycle was weaving her way through traffic towards us. Teacher, this is not anyone I recognize. It would be best if they did not catch us. Modi's right. Let's get out of here. Go, Eugene. Hold on a sec. I want to get a look at them. Yeah, it could be. The driver of the motorbike raised their hand and pointed a gun at the car. Step on it, Eugene! Oh, no. Hold on. I need to go take a tinkle myself. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. The driver of the motorbike raised a hand and pointed a gun at the car. The gunshot cracked and the window of the car next to us exploded. What? Are they that bad? Nope. Eugene yelled, shaking his head violently. Not waiting. No. Oh, hell no. He spun the car into a side street I hadn't ever seen before and blasted down the narrow opening with Sharon cackling in the back seat. I sunk down and closed my eyes. This was always my least favorite part. The American doesn't like my driving? Eugene asked Sharon. I grumbled but didn't move. Don't worry about the gala, Eugene. What the fuck is gala? Sharon whooped. I love your driving. I wish I knew what a gala was. What? After a long time, Sharon laid a hand on my shoulder. You can stop cowering now, she said with a smug expression. I looked back at her. Where are we? I asked, looking out the window to find out we had left the CBD entirely. Safe, my friend, Eugene said, leaning into the car from the outside on the driver's side. He had a can of soda in his hand and an even smugger look on his face. I'll beat both y'all asses. I crawled out of the car and stretched my legs. What a mess. Modi, did you get that number plate? I asked. No, teacher. The vehicle was too far away. Who do you suppose it was? 100 Day. Yeah, it could be anyone wanting to hurt the... Yeah. It probably is somebody who wants to hurt the company, actually. Honestly, I don't think the 100th Day would do that. I think we would know if it was the 100th Day. Because they had them weird coats. So I'm saying it's probably someone who wanted to hurt the company. Who's the company? Sharon asked, now leaning against the car herself. My employer, I answered, and Dolores' too. They sent me to Peru and Canada. It was my choice to come to Australia, and they facilitated it. Sharon frowned in an appreciative way. I'm going to give Chrissy a call. Tell her to be careful, yeah? I called. Sharon just waved her hand as she stepped away for privacy. Oh my god. Eugene offered me to drink and I declined, looking around. Oh, you don't drink soda, you are vampire. We were at a petrol station off a highway. There weren't any landmarks except for fields and cows who all seemed to be giving us dirty looks. I'm sorry for the trouble, Eugene. He shrugged. I say to myself, Eugene, this is adventure, he said. In adventure, the driver gets the girl, so this is good thing. I laughed. I couldn't help myself. You can take Sharon as long as I get Dolores, okay? But if I don't get Dolores, then Sharon's all mine. No way, our bicycle friend followed us, he said, suddenly serious. I did many turnarounds. I'll take you and the beautiful woman to your destination as soon as I have finished my vice. He indicated to his drink and nodded. The woman following us was riding a motorcycle. Modi had spoken aloud to correct Eugene, and he looked down at my wrist in confusion. Oh no, Modi! Stop doing that! Yes, is what I said. I covered Modi's face before it could respond, and Eugene wandered away again. Should I not correct people, teacher? There's a difference between correcting and being rude, Modi. You may correct me. Eugene is different. Yes. But you are my teacher, teacher. It is not my place to teach you. What? Maybe only when I need it, Modi. The little device was quiet for a moment. Okay, teacher. Sharon came back to me. She's going to get a hotel room under Tommy's name, she said. That way, she's got a little extra security. Good choice. Sharon snorted. I'll be happier when all of this is over. I thought you were the supreme thrill seeker, I said, nudging her shoulder with my own. Changed your mind? Not mine, she sighed. Just Chrissy's. When I was doing crazy things and spending time in prison and with the wrong people, I didn't have a daughter to consider. My lip twisted in amusement as I looked at her. She raised an eyebrow. What? You were in prison? You stopped spending time with the wrong people? You stopped spending time? Teacher, you're implying you are the wrong sort of people. You damn right. And you know what? My time is almost up. So we need to get... You know what? I'm going to end it right here. I just made a choice. So I'm going to end it right here. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.